Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video and would like to receive notification of my future video postings, please subscribe. In many ways, cooking is a pretty complicated task. There are many small things that you need to do it right in order to have the efficiency and effectiveness. One of these small things in my case is dicing onion. I have a lot of trouble in dicing onion in the past, so consequently, I usually do not dice onions for my dishes. I have a friend, I will call her Susan for the sake of this video. She is an excellent Italian cook and she teaches cooking classes, and she often asks me to assist her in her cooking classes. One thing that I pick up from her is how she dice her onion, which is really an elegant and effective way. Recently, I posted a video and show how to cook sliced onion with mushroom. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to cook mushroom pretty much the same, but with diced onion. And it come out with actually quite a different type of dish. In this video, I added a couple other ingredients to this dish to demonstrate that by advanced prepping, you can create an entirely new dish with really minimum amount of effort. So before I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to cook this dish, I'm going to show you how to dice onion. First of all, let me tell you about the knife I am using. I use what is known as a Chinese vegetable knife. It has a blunt end. So I like this knife because of the blunt end. It makes the knife feel safer. The first step is to cut the onion in half. And the goal is that you want to cut the onion right in the middle through the root of the onion. The first thing I'm going to do is that I use the sharp front edge of the knife to pierce into the onion because that will give me a much better guide of how I'm going to cut the onion in half. Sometimes an onion could be difficult to cut. In order to use minimum amount of force, what I'm going to do is that I basically rotate the onion through the knife. Only at the end of the cutting action, I'm going to give it a sharp push to get the knife through the onion. As I've shown in this diagram, the top edge of the onion, actually, now you look at it from this angle, the top of the onion is actually the root of the onion. The bottom of the onion is the tip of the onion. I find that the most effective way to peel the onion is use the knife that peel the onion on the top edge of the onion. And once you use the knife to cut off the top, you can start to see which layer that you want to remove from the onion. Once you identify the layer that you want to remove, then you can simply use your finger to peel it off. You want to notice that it is important that the cutting has to be at the tip, not at the root, because the whole idea is that the root will remain intact and then it holds the onion together. Before we moving into the next step, I would like to just briefly describe the claw technique. Now, I have talked about this in other videos, but it doesn't hurt that I repeat it again here. The whole idea about the claw technique is that you curl your finger actually underneath your knuckles. So your tips are stay out of the way. And it resembles the claws of a eagle. The advantage of this technique is that now when you cut, the knife actually will come into contact of your knuckles or the back of your finger, whereas the tips are safely high inside. And then you use the tips to grasp the material that you are cutting. So in the following step, you will see how this claw technique in action. Now, the next part of this technique is truly ingenious. When I saw Susan demonstrate it, I thought, what a great idea. So what you do is that now you use the knife and cut the onions across in the distance that you want, how big you want the piece of onion going to be. And basically you cut it through, but without cut through the entire onion. And the root will hold the onion together. The next step is simple. You just turn the onion around. Now you cut it across the onion. So everything you cut now will fall into small pieces because you have already cut it in a vertical, horizontal way. As you can see, the root is essential because it holds the whole pieces of onion together. Now you can actually slice all the way down to the root, and you waste almost no onion at all. This is by far the most efficient way to dice onion, and this is probably one of the most valuable cooking techniques that I have learned from Susan, in addition to many other tricks. In the case of advanced prepping, in the beginning of each week, I always slice some onion and I dice some onions. The onion actually keep pretty good in the refrigerator. They usually have a shelf life up to about 1 week. So for the demonstration of today's dish, actually I cooked it for dinner the other night. The whole dish took me only about 5 minutes to cook, including gather all the ingredients. In addition to the diced onion, I'm going to also use mushroom, carrot, as well as some jalapeno pepper. So okay, now we are ready to cook. So I'm going to use my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of canola oil to the wok, and just enough to cover the bottom of the wok. I heat up the oil until it starts to smoke gently. I let it smoke for about 15 seconds. This is the time when the wok is being seasoned. This method, I referred it to as the spot seasoning method. And if you're not familiar with this method, you can take a look at this video. I then add the carrots first to the wok because the carrot takes longer time to cook. I stir fry the carrot for about 15 to 20 seconds. I next add about 1 cup of diced onion. As you notice that once the onion is diced, it actually do not take up a whole lot of room. Furthermore, the diced onion cook much quicker than if you use sliced onion. So after stir for a little bit, I'm ready to add the next ingredient, which is the mushroom. I cut the mushroom into chunks because this way it will retain its texture better. And since my wife really liked the texture of the mushroom, just a few quick stir, I add about 1/4 cup of jalapeno pepper. Again, you can add as much as or as little jalapeno pepper as you wish. The reason I add jalapeno pepper to this dish because my son really enjoyed it. After stir fry the content for a little bit, I noticed that the mushrooms still look a little bit dry. Mushrooms suck up oil readily, so I add more oil directly over the mushroom. To develop the full feature or full flavor of the mushroom, you want the mushroom to coat it with oil because that's how flavor molecules are going to be generated during the cooking process. Okay, by now I feel that the texture of all the ingredients is pretty much how I like it. Everything cooked really quickly. So the next step is that I'm going to add a little bit amount of water because the water will actually soften the texture even a little bit more. At least this is how I like it. I use my squeeze bottle to add just enough water to cover the bottom of the wok. I don't want to add too much water because I want to evaporate most of the water by the time when I finish cooking the dish. This will allow the flavor to be more concentrated. After stir fry the content for about 10 seconds, I add the basic seasoning mix. This is helped to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients rather than to overwhelm them. If you want to learn more about this basic seasoning mix, you can take a look at this video. After a few quick stir, the dish is ready. The total cook time of this dish is under 4 minutes. As you can tell, this dish is far more interesting than if you just cook it with mushroom and onion, which most people cook it that way. And the reason I can add all the other ingredients into it because of advanced prepping. I have all those ingredients ready right in the refrigerator for me to use. So template-based cooking is really allow you to make modifications based on what your personal preferences as well as on what is available to you at the time. And one important part of cooking is confidence, the daring to try. So I suggest that you go out and buy some ingredients and prep them and have them ready available to you, and you can try out this particular template. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like icon below. This will help me to expand my audience base. If you'd like to receive notifications of my future video postings, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.